Hi everyone, it's your friendly neighborhood wifimary and welcome to today's Sims video where I am finally not making a create a sim but I am making a build. You've probably read the title by now, so you all know this is the Uncharted beach house from the epilogue of Uncharted 4 A Thief's End. So it's Nate and Elena's family home during the epilogue, and I was so excited to make this because Uncharted is my favorite gaming franchise ever. It's the one game that I can always find myself going back to when I'm bored of everything else. So yeah, I was really excited because I love this house, and you know, the presence of this house is actually what makes the Uncharted game, well, Uncharted 4 specifically, really good in my case. You really get to kind of explore the domestic life with Nate and Elena, and I just find it such a cute little element because not all video games do that, and it's so refreshing to see something, you know, different, I guess. So yes, I am currently on screen right now making the house and doing the layout, and I did rotate this house in the end so that it faces the other way, because if I did it this way, you'll see later, but so like it doesn't really quite fit, and that's one of the problems that I had with this build, is that the lot was quite big, but because like not three quarters, like a quarter of the lot was in water, I couldn't really do anything about it. I thought that I could edit it with the terrain, but apparently you can't edit these kind of lots with the terrain because of the water, and so like I had to do what's best for it, I guess, and I had to actually do some resizing of the actual house. So the hallway, which now is a 3x3, well, it's not 3x3, but it's like 3 across. That actually gets changed down to 2 tiles, so it gets significantly smaller. I wish I didn't have to, but unfortunately, lot size restraints made me do it. So don't blame me. Before I get caught up in anything else, this video will be split into 2 because I was editing it and it looked like it was gonna get up to like 30 minutes long, and I didn't want to talk for 30 minutes and I didn't want to upload a 30-minute video, and I'm just being lazy here, so I split it into 2. I think the first part is quite longer than the second one. I think the first one is around 20 minutes whereas the second one's around 10 minutes, but I'll be uploading the second part in like maybe a couple of days. I'll just put like, you know, a gap between the 2. I don't want to be posting it both in the same day, and I don't want to be posting it one after the other, but yeah, that'll be up soon. Alright, so what are we looking at now? I'm making the kitchen, and yeah, look, I don't know if this house is fully functional. There is a lot of stuff that overlaps. So you'll see that in the kitchen with the stove, because the way the stove works in the actual house in Uncharted is that it's like built into a counter. So I don't know if this one works. I don't know how functional it is. But hey, if you do use this house in your game, you can go make some changes of your own. There's a lot of clutter, so if it's laggy when you're playing in it, feel free to delete the foliage outside, feel free to delete the amount of boxes I've put in, and really just keep the necessities, I guess. But I wanted to keep this house as accurate as I could to the house in Uncharted, and that's practically why it's cluttered with so many boxes and so many books and so many plants. But I really like the way that they did the plants in this house in Uncharted, because I found it so lush. You'll see with the with the outside, with the exterior later. I put a lot of greenery and it just looks so lush and I love it so much. When Island Living came out, my first initial thought was, you know what, I have to make the house from Uncharted 4 because that's what screams Island Living to me. The furniture in this house is like all over the place, by the way. Like nothing matches, everything's mismatched, everything's so brightly colored, and to be honest, I thought that was really cool. I've never made a house quite like that before. Everything for me has been quite monochrome and quite simplistic, and I really went all out for this. I really went all out for this house, and you know what, I am happy that I did, because you know I love it, and it's very different from everything else that I've built so far. Me saying that, I've built like 2 other things for this channel, but in terms of my own gameplay, it's very, very different from everything else. I got to experiment with a lot of things here, things that I really wouldn't usually do when doing a build. And one thing I do have to say is that I wish we had more rugs in The Sims, and more square shaped rugs. Nate and Elena use quite a lot of rugs in the house, and I was just not feeling it with a lot of the rugs we have in The Sims. I found like really cute printed ones, but they weren't square shaped, and I needed specifically square shaped rugs, and whatever. That's actually another thing, that in this house there's so many rugs overlapping each other. I don't know why, but it's aesthetically cool, and that's what Nate and Elena did in the game, so I followed it. Also, what was I gonna say? Crap, now I forgot what I was gonna say. Okay, I am like completely lost. I was gonna say something, but yeah, I didn't even know half of these build items existed until like making this house. Like I didn't know those pots existed. Apparently they came with one of the game packs. Ooh, Jungle Adventure, I think. And I was so happy. Like I've wanted to make this house in The Sims for so long now, and whenever I attempted to do it, I've just felt so underwhelmed with what I've achieved, because there just wasn't enough, things that really screamed treasure hunters and excuse me, and island living to me. And plus, before, I couldn't do it on a lot with by a beach, near some water, near the ocean, and finally with this one I got to do it. So yeah, I am incredibly thankful for the Sims team making all this cool stuff, because finally I've got to make this house, and I am pretty pleased with the end result. So I hope you guys will like it. Also, on another note, I just realized I had like a little save portion there. I actually tried making this house once previous to this one, and I got around halfway doing it and it completely crashed in me, and I got so pissed off because I think I fully furnished the dining area, the kitchen, and like the little sitting space living area across from it, and then my game completely crashed in me, and I was so annoyed, and I didn't save any of it, and basically I had to start again, and I was just really annoyed because I was like, oh shit, I have to build like the whole basics again, and I have to do all the furnishings, and trust me, this house was such a pain to furnish because of how cluttered it was and how detailed it was. And do I want to go through it again? Probably not. But yeah, what I do want to do next though is I want to make the smaller house that Nate and Elena live in like, what chapter is it? Chapter 4? Chapter 5? Where they play Crash Bandicoot. I have made that before for my own gameplay. Obviously, I didn't upload it. But I really want to try recreating that. I mean, hey, I handled the beach house. I can handle the little one. So yes, I'm going to talk about Uncharted 4, or the Uncharted franchise, a little bit now. As I said before, it is one of my, if not my favorite gaming franchise ever. I love how, how narrative driven it is. Those are my favorite games, actually. The games with a really, really good narrative are probably my favorite. I'm a sucker for for the narrative, for the story, for the really, really strong story. I'm not, I love my gameplay, and obviously the game needs good gameplay, but when you have that story, I'm sold, baby. Uncharted is just really lucky, especially Uncharted 4, that number one, it has incredibly good graphics. It's very, very realistic, and I love that. Number two, it has, as I said, a very, very good story. It's so, the plot is what drives the entire thing. It's not just like, hey, we're here, shoot some bad guys. It's like there's an actual reason why you're shooting at bad guys. There's an actual reason why you're parkouring and climbing on these cliffs. And the fact that it's not open world doesn't really bother me at all, because it makes so much sense in my head. And probably Uncharted 4 Thief's End will forever be my favorite game ever. I highly doubt it that anything can beat it at this stage. I have no idea. I'm very, very excited for Cyberpunk though. That is one thing I'm very, very excited for, but will it beat Uncharted 4 out of my favorite games? It probably won't. My favorite superhero is Spider-Man, and I completely love the Spider-Man PS4 game, but did it beat Uncharted? No. Another thing I love about Uncharted is how likable the characters are. Even the villains. I think strong characters is another thing that really sells your game. People become attached to them. I became really attached to Nate, Elena, Sam, and Sally. Nadine, Chloe, hey, even Rafe, to an extent. He's a bit of a jerk, but to an extent. Even Rafe. And, these characters are kind of like another reason, another catalyst as to why I go, hey, I haven't played Uncharted 4 in a long time. I haven't played Uncharted in a long time. I want to go play it again. I want to go replay it. The replayability factor in Uncharted is fucking amazing, by the way. I can play it all day, every day, all the time, on repeat. I replay it like maybe once, twice. Ooh, I don't know. Maybe I think I replay it like twice every year, if not then once every year. But yeah, I replay it a lot. I still haven't platinumed it because of the multiplayer. I don't play multiplayer as much. I'm not really a big fan of multiplayer games. Multiplayer is multiplayer. Shoot to kill. Holy shit. Hang on. Okay, sorry about that, guys. We had to run into some technical difficulties. My hard drive disconnected itself, which is such a pain in the ass and totally freaked me out. I was like, holy shit, what is happening? But we're all good now. So what was I talking about before I really got scared because I thought my hard drive stopped working, and I was like, shit, not this again. Uncharted. Yeah, I'm not really big into multiplayer. I don't know. Whatever. But one thing I do have to say is I am completely in love with Uncharted 4. Like, seriously, if you haven't played it, highly recommend it. It is a PlayStation exclusive, and that's why I always say get a PlayStation instead of an Xbox. We have better exclusives. We have the best ones. I mean, we have Uncharted, we have The Last of Us, we have Detroit, we have Spider-Man, Death Stranding is going to be a PlayStation exclusive, and holy shit, I am going to be broke. My PlayStation currently has no more space on it, and I don't know what I'm gonna do, but yeah, that's happening. I'm playing all the games. yeah, you guys keep saying, you know, PC Master Race, and I'm like, no, guys. PlayStation is where it's at. No, this is not sponsored by PlayStation. If they want to sponsor me, then they can. But they'll probably never do that because I never record anything on my PlayStation. I'm always playing The Sims because I find it's the most easiest to record, and it's just so calming for me. I kind of do it as like a little recreational activity. The Sims is really calming for me, actually. But oh, actually, you know what? A shameless plug here. Shameless promo. I was doing a little bit of streaming on Twitch a couple of weeks ago. I was playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and my friends were like, hey Mary, are you playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey right now? Is there any chance we can watch you play? And I was like, holy shit, I've never streamed on Twitch. I've never streamed at all. Why don't I try it? So I did, and I played for like maybe an hour or so, and then my shitty internet was like, you know what, Mary, we're kicking you off. We can't handle streaming, and it kicked me off. And I haven't streamed since then, but it was really, really fun. So doing a shameless plug here. You can find me on Twitch at wifimary, and you can watch my you can watch my 2 videos of Assassin's Creed Odyssey that I have on there, because one of it I played for like a couple of minutes and then it kicked me out, and then I played for an hour after that until it kicked me out again. But I played quite a few quests. I am done with the main storyline, so I didn't get to play that, but I did a couple of quests and it was quite fun. I carried a dead corpse around for quite a bit. I stabbed a lot of people with my trident. I play as Cassandra, so obviously I play as the better sibling. Duh, obviously. Cassandra writes in this household only. And yeah, it was pretty fun, and I actually kind of want to get into streaming maybe in the future. Yeah. I think we're nearing the end of this video. Oh, we got like a minute to go. Okay. No worries, I can talk for a minute longer. So yeah, guys, Wi-Fi Mary on Twitch. I didn't have my mic set up that quickly though, so there is no commentary on my part for that. So I apologize if you wanted to hear me comment on what I was playing, but hey, I played a little bit of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It wasn't The Sims. It was quite fun. And so yeah, as I said before, if you've forgotten, this is a 2-part episode. I'm trying to find my words here. It's a 2-part episode, so after this vid, the next one will probably come out in like 1 or 2 days, 3 days if I'm feeling lazy, and it will continue with the rest of the house and the exterior. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to give me a like or whatever the fuck you do on YouTube these days, and I will talk to you all whenever.